Les Miserables, Chapter 2, titled Monsieur Madeleine. I sold most of the silver to set myself up, but I kept the candlesticks to remind me that I was a new man. I moved to Montreuil-sur-Mer. I arrived the night of the town hall fire. The police chief's 2 children were in the fire. I rescued them. In the excitement, no one asked to see my identity papers. I changed my name to Madeleine and began a new life. In 3 short years, I was rich. It happened like this. The city of Montreuil had a special craft, making glass beads. The black beads brought Montreuil most of its money. I invented a cheaper glaze to finish the beads. The beads were even more in demand. The town prospered. I built a bead factory. There was a workshop for men and one for women. Any person wanting honest work could always get a job at my factory. I gave beds to the hospital and built an old people's home. It was the first one in France. I built a new school. At first, people didn't trust me. They thought I was doing these things for my own gain. How could they know I gave so much because so much had been given to me? In time, I earned everyone's trust. They even made me their mayor. Only one person didn't trust me. That person was Javert, the police inspector. His eyes were like ice whenever we met. I lived quietly. I didn't want Javert to learn the truth about me. I was an ex-convict, but worse, I had stolen from a child. Soon I would find out that Javert was like a hawk when it came to the law. His eyes were sharp, and he never let his prey escape. One day I was out walking. The ground was soft from rain the day before. I saw a small crowd gathered around a horse cart. They parted when I arrived. A horse had broken its hind legs, and an old man was trapped under the cart. The man was Père Fauchelevent. He had never liked me. I think he was jealous. Once I had been a day laborer, as he was. Now I owned a factory. Is help on the way, I asked. The loaded cart pressed heavily on the poor man's chest. If help didn't arrive soon, he would be crushed. Yes, replied the man next to me. Someone has gone to get a jack from the blacksmith, but it will take a quarter of an hour. A quarter of an hour, I cried. Fauchelevent will be dead in that time. There's still room for a man to crawl under the cart and lift it on his back. I'll give 5 francs to anyone with the muscle and the heart. No one spoke. I raised my offer to 10 francs, 20 francs. Still no one came forward. Meanwhile, the cart was sinking deeper into the mud. It was squeezing the life out of Fauchelevent. A man would have to be as strong as an ox to lift that load, said Javert. I had not seen him in the crowd. He would risk getting crushed himself, he continued. I have only known one man who could lift a load like this on his back. I knew him when I was warden in the Toulon prison. Toulon? How long was it since I'd heard that name spoken? Memories of my years in prison rushed in upon me. Javert was watching me closely, but I couldn't let Fauchelevent die. Suddenly the old man cried out, "It's crushing me! My ribs are breaking! For God's sake, do something!" I stripped off my coat and crawled under the cart. The cart was low in the mud. I was almost flat on my stomach. I slipped again and again, trying to get a foothold. "Hurry! Come out of there, Monsieur Madeleine!" someone shouted. Fauchelevent himself cried out, "Go away, Monsieur Madeleine! I'm done for! Let me be, or you'll be killed too!" But I finally had a foothold. I braced the cart's weight on my back and pushed with all my might. Slowly the cart rose. At last the mud-caked wheels came into view. Men from the crowd jumped in to help. The cart was soon out of the mud, and Fauchelevent was rescued. I got to my feet. Sweat poured down my face. I was drained. As I walked away, I could feel the eyes of the hawk upon my back. Fauchelevent's kneecap was broken. I bought his horse and cart. I found him work as a gardener in a convent in Paris. In this way, the old man became my friend.
Cut.